creepy haunts materialize
and begin to vocalize. Grim grinning ghosts come out to socialize.
Do you ever miss dark fantasy? What I'm referring to specifically is a more wholesome approach to fear fiction, tempered with childhood whimsy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Inkarnate, what do you mean? Horror and PG go together like Anheuser-Busch and productive business models. And to that I merely say, well played, my fellow cynic. But hear me out. Unlike Bud Light's stock price, I'm going somewhere with this. The 90s, to me, was such a pinnacle decade for this cornerstone of what I refer to as the gateway genre that doesn't get talked about enough. We got 2 Addams Family movies, Gremlins 2, The Witches, Jurassic Park. I just did a 30-year watch party of Hocus Pocus with a similarly timed anniversary stream for The Nightmare Before Christmas scheduled for this October. One would think that if any studio or brand would be a shoo-in to carry the torch for a ghostly spin on imagination, it'd be Disney. Sadly, the House of Mouse ain't the visionary sanctuary of creativity that it once was. If you needed an example of how far this establishment has fallen, look no further than Haunted Mansion. Don't turn away, I had to suffer through this monotony, so you do too. As much as Disney wishes upon a star that this theme park attraction turned summer blockbuster could print Pirates of the Caribbean quantities of currency, the truth is that this studio does have the money, can afford the screenplays, before the writer's strike, and can bankroll the marketing budget necessary to turn Haunted Mansion into the next cash cow if they wanted to. You know what's worse than the blown opportunity of adapting what should be an instant hit as a family-friendly film? The fact that, at the very least, the premise of amassing professions with otherworldly familiarity like a fortune teller.
Call me now for your free tarot reading.
Okay, I was wondering who the father of my baby was.
All right, let's take a look. The Miss Cleo DNA test.
Parapsychologist.
Parapsychology and psychology.
I see.
Mystic tour guide. And priest to do some ghost hunting sounds like a fun concept. People from all walks of life to wake the dead. But that's just the roll call. When you look at the actors appointed to play the part, you're left wondering, what exactly is this casting? Tiffany Haddish, Danny DeVito, Rosario Dawson, Jared Leto. Did someone lose a bet? This is a more motley-looking crew than The Eternals, also made by Disney. I realize I'm supposed to be reacting to the trailers, but it really is just a disjointed mashup of scenes. Kudos to the studio for incorporating the iconic scenes and characters from the ride into the movie. The stretching elevator, the organist, the Hatbox Ghost, Madame Leota in the crystal ball. Too bad they didn't bother with either the story or the script to accompany these celebrated tropes because, much like the casting, it all just goes to waste. This looks like the worst thing to happen to dark fantasy since Eli Roth's The House with a Clock in Its Walls. If you're asking, what is that? Eli Roth is an overrated director who capitalized on horror's youth movement post-Scream 1996, whose juvenile humor saw him fancy himself the next Sam Raimi, but, for those of us with good taste, quickly came to the daunting epiphany that what we indeed had was instead the first Eli Roth.
The cats don't lie. Lord of mercy.
Oh, and Clockwork Cringe was also a box attempt at an adaptation. As for Haunted Mansion 2023, it looks like Ghostbusters 2016 effects settling for the haunting 1999 actors and Casper 1995 levels of try-hard and cringy humor.
Did you think Cleo wasn't gonna see that?
I haven't even reserved a ticket, and I feel like I want a refund already. Keep one sobering piece of news in mind. This is Disney's second time at bat in just as many decades adapting their attraction into a movie. Who wants to place bets that this time they'll hit a home run? Any takers at all? Anybody? What's that? They made a Muppets Haunted Mansion 2 years ago. So this will be the third strikeout for the studio. Ouch. How sad that with Pirates of the Caribbean recently celebrating a birthday, all of the Magic Kingdom's money-grubbing ambitions and highest hopes throughout these 20 years has merely amounted to a botched theme park film and a failure to replicate their high C success with a video game adaptation. In what has proven to be an unsettling reminder of the current regime that has been handed the keys to the kingdom, the fact remains, this ain't the Disney of old. This new version of the studio has crafted the likes of John Carter, The Lone Ranger, Lightyear, A Wrinkle in Time.
I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him.
Mulan, The Little Mermaid, which says nothing of their failures with Marvel and Lucasfilm debacles. If home is where the haunt is, the theater is where I won't be for opening night. I've been Inkarnate, reminding you, I ain't just a big deal, I'm the real deal. If you're resigned to your fate, time to subscribe to your fears.
Warn your friends. Warn everyone.